When a person thinks of the ascension of ex-slaves to a level of equality, you can't help but to recognize the contributions of one man in particular than others, at least in my humble opinion. Many times I have read many books, and at least half the time I ran into a man we know of as W.E.B. Du Bois. This was a great man of intellect. This man was, I believe he was mixed race, as many of us were. Kind of a light man, but all in all, considered a black man, an African American. But he was an intellectual and even taught, was a professor at a few colleges. One of them being Wilberforce in Ohio, the state where I ride. Without further ado, a little housekeeping. Welcome to Foundation for Elevation Station. And I'm Leon Meredith. And we are in a certain stage of slavery. And we are at a point to slam the door on the spiritual slavery that is today. It has been embedded so deep within the programming that it's hard to shake. We have been hypnotized by the degree of magicianry that has grabbed our spirit like the Pied Piper. I have read and studied many different books, papers, research avenues, audio books, and at least half the time I run into this one man, this great man, giving his perspective on what it is to continue to climb, to ascend out of slavery for the African American man and woman and family. His perspectives are harsh for common persons. Even though the black bourgeoisie, the boule, are in agreement with his methods, his ideology. Many believe that he is a forefather of the set form of boule, the black boule. Me, I read it a many places. Engaging from the way that he views society, I would wager he is wholeheartedly a forefather of it. But I don't have any incriminating facts besides a heavy guesstimation. It's one saying that stuck with me for so many years that this man said. It's a few that I'm going to depict in this session to give us a proper perspective of the people we're dealing with, and especially the people of our own people that wishes to capitalize from us. And they're all over: the local businessman, our pastor, political people, that community activists. Many people wish to continue to rise. This is one of W.E.B. Du Bois' ideologies, is to raise only the ones that see the big picture. Not in those words, but basically, this is what he said because he believed that most are satisfied with their condition. Yeah. He even said the number one saying I remember him for. He said that as soon as my people become only concerned with mere money making, they will lose all sense of manhood. That's close to verbatim. He said, as soon as my people become merely, I lost the wording. He said, as soon as my people become concerned with mere money making, they will lose all sense to manhood. He meant that what I'm gonna name this video, because I was just researching something and it came up: character, culture, and community development. See, his idea at first, this was 100 years ago. This man was, his idea was to only take the 10% of people that have the character, because he said that the preachers, the people that taught religion, they were immoral and they knew nothing outside of the book in which they were teaching. This is what he was saying. He said that this is all they know is to take some form of programming that they are learning to get a certain degree of leverage within their community financially, and teach it, that we couldn't rely upon that to discern if they were leaders of the community. He said that the 10%, must be gathered and taught on a level that will form the destination for the other 90%. To learn it, to go out and teach the 90%. And he was fully aware. He said that most people would not want to partake upon it, but to teach them all and to see which ones that were worthy and willing to get them and move forward in building the next stages. It is so intelligent because I have the same notions. You have so many people that only want to profit. And that's what W.E.B. Du Bois realized. That I realized too. And it's hard for me because it's so many moving parts around me within the community. And it's like W.E.B. Du Bois, studying his thought processes, is linking with my thought processes. You have to be on a level of manhood, intellectual manhood, to not allow profiteers, people that just want to profit, to sink into leadership positions when they don't have the heart, when they don't have like the dexterity of character and intelligence to pour into the community. He said, you can't enlist these people, even if the community at that point believes that they're a leader. Because they are a leader because they're teaching a program that they have learned, and the people believe that the program is good, but it's really just an enslavement that they're teaching to the people to make them feel good. This is W.E.B. Du Bois. And I say it's aligning with what I be saying. But so many people that are teaching these different forms of programs to our people, they get offended because this is their only power to sit on a set program that they're teaching that really holds little value for the future building of our culture. Oh, that's hard to swallow. I don't even want to laugh. And I know many people would laugh and giggle right now, right here, because the awakening that is, I can only talk to our brothers that's pushing the type of programming to the people and want to continue. Brother, sister, sometimes we got to put some things on the back burner and come together on a common ground. You have a gift. And it lies outside of, probably most of you have a gift. It lies outside of the programming that you are provocating to the people. I know a lot of people, it's hard for you to go touch people if you don't have your entourage with you, or if other people already don't know who you are. See, that's something I could do whatever, and I'm not gonna come and I'm not patting myself. No, forget that. I'm patting myself on the back. I'm not coming to people and kicking some type of program that everybody gonna agree with because they done heard it 20 million times. I'm coming right there. If you watch me with originality, ain't nobody got to know me, and we can go. And that's the only reason that a lot of people follow other people, because them people is just saying a certain program that they done heard for years and years, when that stuff is not working. And we as a community keep allowing them to teach it to our people, teach it to our children, when we know it's a set program that's probably setting up other chains of events to happening 10 years from now, 20 years from now. You know not what you teach. You don't know not what you're teaching. And the overwhelming vibration that lies within what you're teaching, that's going to take place 10, 20, 30 years from now. It just feel good to keep saying, I'm doing it because, everybody is the way. Yeah, you got to. But that don't mean that you don't have the will to understand that you're leading people to a destruction. Something that even Martin Luther King realized. I referenced this. He said, days before his death, I have been leading my people, and now they're inside a burning building. He realized that he was guided to say certain things that was leading his people to a destructive place, as many of you are. And your ego won't let you admit it. That's the only power you have, is to follow that programming and ego. I get my aims going again. This is how I get my benefits. This is what it is. You believe you following God too. I'm following God, and you know the truth. If you look, if you got half the intelligence, but how could you give it up? Can't give it up. I love you. Leon Merrick, I love you, but stand down. You know what you're teaching. And I'm not asking you to, I asked you to ride with me. And I asked you to put all that on the back burner. All that you own, and you know who you working for. If you really look at it, you know the forces that you work for. Character, culture, community development. We must break certain standards within our programming, beliefs, traditions, rules, to fortify a certain cultural character base. The ways in which we live our lives cannot continuously be ignored. We got to stand on it and not just like want to have fun and throw an occasional hint about how we should date, how our young ladies should dress, how our young men should be men. We can't just keep ignoring these things, throwing them way on the back burner. Oh, we just throw that in the crock pot. Don't even turn the crock pot on yet. Just throw it back there. We can't overstep boundaries. We got parents. We got community. We gotta die. When do we step up? When do we stop being afraid to stand up for God, the real God, the God that's in you? Are you only a God in your little small group, your little small congregation, only in your church followers, only on your block where people already know you? Oh, you really ain't ready to go somewhere where nobody knows you. You afraid to go to that dope block 1, 2 in the morning. You afraid to get in the middle of that dude beating on his girl and telling face to face, look, brother, I'm here to save you. I'm not talking about, oh, stop beating on that woman. Man, I'm helping you for you crash into that brick wall face first. See, that's where a lot of people, we don't think. We'll jump in the dude beating on the girl. You want to jump in there talking about some, oh, that's a woman. You can't. You don't even know if that woman hit him. You don't even know if that woman just took all his money and gave it to another man. You don't know if that woman tried to stab him. You don't know what happened. So that's not the angle to talk about, oh, you don't do with that woman. You ain't gonna step in when that woman talking to him belligerently, poking at a bear. And nigga, you ain't and you ain't and he just standing there like, oh, you really ain't. You ain't gonna step up then. You ain't gonna say, sister, you know you can't beat that man. Why is you talking to him like that? See, that's me. That I'm stepping in. Because I don't want to see it escalate. And I know the programmers say, that's a woman and you can't do it. Well, you know, we forget about equality. We forget about in all these domestic violence situations that something brought them about. We ain't even stunting somebody, a woman may be talking to him heinously. We say words hurt. So why we ain't stunting that when she talking to the man? I'm not on woman-man stuff here, but it's more perspective in there. We want to blame any man for hitting a woman, but we forget that one day an intelligent man like myself realized that, hold on, this fire that happened, something else happened here. Let me examine it. Give me a minute. Oh, somebody made this fire and they wanted to burn this down. And matter of fact, they hid this body in there. Let's call it arson. See, an intelligent man came up with that, the understanding. And it's time that domestic violence gets recognized too. We can't just keep turning a blind eye. I'm going off. I'm going off base a little bit. It's time to refortify the rules, the standards, the character, the culture of our communities and develop therein. I don't know every nook and cranny, but I got a lot of solutions, brothers. And I don't hate you, sisters. But I know that a lot of rules were bent and molded to elevate and create a certain mindset within the woman empowerment mindset to get you ready for another step up, another duty in the coming years. It's so many increments of purpose behind the woman empowerment movement. Oh, it's deep. It's deep. And I seen it. I seen it years ago, maybe 6, 7 years ago. I started to see it. I said, oh, it's reasons why they doing this. Oh, okay, this is blah, blah, blah. And it all start fitting in place. And all I want to say is that let's give everybody a reason, the ammunition to elevate. Let's not leave anyone behind. And let's start standing on the truth. Like, man, we don't want to leave you behind. This is what's going down. This is how we can elevate. If you want to keep shaking your ass, don't say I didn't warn you. But we got to make it clear to our people that we are trying to organize and restructure our character, restructure our culture, and develop our communities.